Okay, and then I'll tell you when I go live.
Welcome to Sister Cribs. No.
All right, so I'm about to hit go live. Live video is starting, and we are live.
Whoa, okay.
That was my best witch impression to
I
start
think
us
that was
off.
your worst. witch impression.
Dang, that's messed up. Well,
Happy Halloween.
not
Well, day
quite.
before Hallows Eve.
All Hallows
Uh,
Eve.
All Hallows Eve. Yeah, there we have it.
All Hallows Eve is tomorrow.
Oh
Well,
wait.
what's the day?
Well,
What's the day
then what's
before?
today?
I guess just Halloween Eve.
Oh,
All Hallows
ooh.
Eve is what it is.
Throw the extra on.
It's All Hallows Eve, guys.
All Hallows Eve.
No, I think we should adapt that. That is our new thing. We are going to have All Hallows Eve every year. Okay,
That'll work.
works for
No.
me.
Oh,
All right,
God.
let's get this show on the road.
All right, Terrell.
All right.
Get it.
Hello. Pew. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sips and Scripts, the podcast where we make a cocktail and talk about one of our favorite films from the past and present. My name is Terrell Bernard, Comic-Con enthusiast.
Oh, God.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, and I am Kirsten Jackson, cocktail influencer at lowcountrysocialite.com.
Are you? That was not confident.
I was trying to pull my mic down and I was thinking, and I don't multitask well. So yes, I am a cocktail influencer at lowcountrysocialite.com.
Well, my name is Kayla Rose, and I am an entertainment blogger at inmytheater.com. And I am so very excited to introduce you guys to our show today because it's the eve before All Hallows Eve. And
if you don't quit trying to make fetch happen.
I don't know about Terrell, but Kirsten and I are big Halloween people. So very excited about this episode because we're talking about a movie that has been terrorizing families ripping at the very fabric of relationships, destroying marriages all around. For 29 years yesterday, they celebrated their 29th year of being released. We are talking about the movie that brings the biggest question around this time, which is whether it is a Halloween or a Christmas movie. I welcome you to join in the discussion on whether The Nightmare Before Christmas is the horrors of Halloween or the horrors of Christmas.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
That's how you started up. Yeah.
Yes, that is.
I love
that is
the energy.
Yes. Yes, it is something that must be discussed every year. We must get our hot takes in on whether this is a Halloween or Christmas movie, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about it because I want to hear everyone's thoughts.
Okay.
My first initial thoughts. That was a lot. It is terrorizing families.
It's terrorizing families, breaking homes apart,
ripping apart marriages.
Fabric of marriages. Yes, absolutely.
Where did they get married? In Vegas? Elvis?
Well, you heard it here first. Families are in danger and marriages are in peril because of this film Kayla has spoken.
Hmm.
Wow. Gosh, on a topic so serious, I don't even know if I am qualified enough to weigh in.
No, I think we can. I think you can.
I think we got
Wow.
it. I think we're all right.
Well,
But you know
okay.
what? Before we even get too deep into our movie, because there's a lot to discuss here, let's talk about what our cocktail's gonna be.
Wow. Okay.
Hey.
If your marriage is on the brink of destruction, I
Yeah, drink
recommend this
this.
cocktail. Okay. Today's cocktail is brought to you by Bushwhacker Coconut Rum. The lovely folks at Bushwhacker sent me a bottle to try. It is coconut cream rum. I don't know if you can see it. It's all turned
Love that.
around.
Love that.
And you see, I've been sipping for quite a bit because it's
Oh.
halfway gone. But
Cracking
um,
open a fresh bottle today.
yes. So I better pace myself because I'm about to run out. But so today I made what I'm calling a frog's breath cocktail.
Okay.
It's in
Ha
a
ha
little mug.
ha.
My light's making everything bright so you can't see like it's green.
Oh,
Yeah.
And if you guys
It's
know, in the
green.
movie, Frog's Breath used to knock out the little creepy guy all the time.
Yes, and we need to talk about that creepiness. But anyway,
Yeah. Hmm.
so in this cocktail, I made it beforehand, so I wasn't gonna make it on camera. But it's 2 jiggers of the coconut rum cream and 2 teaspoons of honeydew smoothie mix, and topped with club soda. And so here you have a lovely frog's breath cocktail, which hopefully won't knock you out unless you drink too many of them. And then that's on you.
Or maybe we hope they do knock you out. Dun dun dun
Yes,
dun.
if
Under
you
the right
ever need to
circumstances.
leap, ever need to leap from a tower,
Yes.
make a few of these.
Might want one.
I
Well, yeah.
don't
Well,
even
before
want
we
to know
get
why.
too technical, what's everybody's history with the film? When have you seen it? Have you seen it? Is it your Halloween staple?
Who would you like to go first?
Oh, let's go with Terrell. Let's go with Terrell,
Yes, let's.
the lover
Oh
of
Lord.
musicals.
Oh Lord.
Um, let's see. I attempted to watch this movie. I watched it last year. Because this isn't the first time we're doing this. Um, and then I watched it again reluctantly last night twice. And
Twice. Whoa.
no, that wasn't a good thing. That means I was like, what is going on? Why?
Or the movie's just that good.
Right, and that's where we're going with it. It was just that good.
Sure, we can say that, or we can tell the truth that it's just a movie.
One of the greatest movies of all time, but go
Okay,
on.
thank you, but okay. All right.
Okay.
um, I don't think I watched this movie until I got grown,
Mhm.
but it's one of my favorite like seasonal movies, and it is a movie that I probably watch. And sometimes I watch it even off season because I'm just like, I feel like hearing the songs again. And I'm not even really a strong musical person, at least not modern musical, but I do like the songs. And I think this movie is absolutely hilarious when you like sit back and like just look at all the stuff that is going on. It's like, what the hell? What the hell?
Mhm.
So yeah, so it is one of my favorite movies. I have a complicated relationship with Tim Burton, but hey.
Ooh, we will get into it. We'll
Oh,
get into it
oh, okay. Because I
because we
don't
do.
know nothing about Tim Burton other than he makes movies.
Yeah. but but yeah, so I've seen it a million times. Like I sing along with it, and it's one of my favorite movies. Yeah.
Ah, Cool. So the movie came out in 1993, and I actually don't remember when I saw it. So for the first time, I do know, however, that I have it on DVD, so I watched it a lot growing up. So, yeah, no, I watch this movie every year as well. It is definitely a staple in my Halloween reservoir. We talked about this last week. I call it one of my Halloween classics, and apparently shamed everyone on this podcast when I said that. However, it is a Halloween classic for me, so I do watch it every year. And sometimes, like Kirsten, I'll watch it off season just because it's a really great movie. But I will say, when I watched it again this time, I think I watched it from an adult lens and was like, oh, Jack is closer to us than we think.
Shouldn't me.
Yeah, a little though, a little, and I'm gonna tell you why. But first, I'll give you a little bit of background on the movie. So the movie was originally released in 1993. It is a Disney film made produced by, well, no, the story is by Tim Burton, and it was produced by Tim Burton, directed by some other folks that I don't really know. It was based off of a play that Tim Burton wrote, which originally only had 3 characters. So it was cool to kind of see how this movie went from having 3 characters to like a whole bunch. Apparently it took 3 years to make this movie just because of the uniqueness of the stop motion animation that was used. It had a budget of 24 million, and it garnered like 91.5 million in the box office. So it was really, really cool. Yeah, so those are kind of like some of the bigger, it was like re-released and all types of stuff. They've for years and years and years have come out with like different forms of the movie. So a 3D release, another re-release that's continues to kind of bring in big money around the market, actually, upwards in the 2 millions, 14 millions, 8 million for every re-release. So it's been re-released, it's been released 7 times.
God dang.
7 times, and just racks and millions every time. So yeah, like, no, definitely a staple in the Halloween Christmas era. Yeah. Anywho, okay, so the movie is about Jack Skellington, who, like a lot of us, is really great at their job, but hates it. He's grown stale. It's something that he's like looking for a little enjoyment, a little excitement out of life. I know we can all understand. That's something new that I picked up today when I watched this movie again, was that, oh, he's just really great at his job and he's bored. Oh Lord. I don't know, but that's something that I caught today that I was like, ooh, I can see. See, this is a relational on an adult level type that I never realized. He was just bored.
Jack was an asshole. And
Jack was an asshole, but that, if you really look at the beginning of the movie, he was like, oh yes, we did it again. Yay, great. Oh, I'm so bored. And he stumbles on Christmastown and just decided that he wanted to do something new and fun and exciting. And I feel like that happens every day. No?
Terrell, Terrell, you have thoughts?
I guess you can put it that way. I mean, if you really, but when you think about it, I think of Jack Skellington as a cultural appropriator.
Oh, yeah.
Who was out of control.
He did do that. We didn't get that far yet. Yes, he absolutely was a cultural appropriator who took it a little too far.
A little too far. They called the army. Time you called the army, you didn't took it way past too far.
That's what I'm screaming.
Yeah. We have not even made it past the surface of the wrongness of this movie, from the director to the actual movie itself. So let's bring it back. Let's even talk about, before we even get into the movie nitty gritty, let's talk about Tim Burton and his racist ass. Y'all, if y'all did not know, Tim Burton is a racist. A flaming racist.
Are you? Wait, hold on, real quick before y'all get started on that. Just are y'all sure? Because that's something that Rhonda asks me all the time when I be like, "They racist," and then she be like, "How you know they racist?" I be like, "Cause somebody on the internet has said that they racist, so I'm gonna pull up all the receipts and show you that they racist." And then when I go, I be like, "Oh."
I got you.
No, that's not really that racist. Okay,
I
my
got
bad.
you.
I apologize for calling you racist.
I will take the words straight out of Tim Burton's mouth if you would like.
Was it Django Unchained or what?
No.
Okay.
Interesting.
I just want to know how
what
racist
is happening
it was.
here right now? Well, if you guys want to know, the topic came up quite around the time where Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children came out, which I don't exactly know what year that was, when Samuel L. Jackson was pointed out to be the first Black actor to play a leading role in one of Tim Burton's movies. Well, Tim Burton was doing an interview with Bustle, and he was asked about his adaptation of the novel, which featured a largely white cast. And so, in his comments, he said some other things, but one of the parts that kind of stood out was that he said, "I remember back when I was a child watching the Brady Bunch, and they started to get all politically correct, like, okay, let's have an Asian child and a Black. I used to get more offended by that than just, I grew up watching Blaxploitation movies, right? And I said, that's great. I didn't go like, okay, there should be more white people in these movies." So he got really defensive, basically, and was like, "Oh, so I remember when the Brady Bunch, which was used to be just this wonderful white family, decided they needed to get politically correct and add in Asians and Black people. Like, ew. There were plenty of Black movies out during the time that I watched growing up that I didn't just say, oh my God, there needed to be more white people in it. Yeah, the nigga's racist. Sorry."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, he was just pretty vocal about what he called forced diversity.
Yeah.
And so basically saying that, his movies, they're always predominantly white, and that's how they're gonna stay. And he's not
Pretty
gonna
much.
just force diversity just because it should be there, because he feels that is not, I guess, authentic. But
Mhm. He basically was like, Halloween movies are for white people. like keep your melanated skin off of these witch movies and vampire movies because it's not realistic. Sorry. Now the complicated part that I have about Tim Burton is because I love Johnny Depp, and he is like a huge reason why Johnny Depp's career is so big. So that's like my complicated relationship with Tim Burton, because like, fuck you, but thank you for employing my guy.
I mean, I see what he was saying. I can see where he was coming from. There is a lot of forced diversity, and it seems most of the time it seems fake, and just to get people to come and see their stuff, like, oh, we got some Black people in, we sprinkled them on in, so y'all come on in, come on, Black people, come join us at the movies. Y'all know what the movies are, don't you? The picture show.
Well, I feel like,
Bro, what the
I mean, it is.
what?
So you mean to tell me the whole time when Disney was thinking of, we're gonna do all the remakes of every movie we ever did, it was like, it's imperative that we have a Black mermaid. Why? Because you want a different demographic to come in and join in, right?
I can understand why you might feel that way, but I look at things like them remaking The Little Mermaid and adding in more Black characters to these remakes, is that they're trying to correct the wrongness that they did years ago, and just adding in additional diversity, and they still don't quite get it right. But like, I understand where you're coming from a little bit. Um, But at the end of the day, it's no longer forced diversity. It's like you need diversity in your movies regardless. So
Yeah, I my take on it is I kind of disagree. Like I feel like it's sad that diversity has to be forced, but the truth is that these companies aren't going to do it themselves because their hiring practices and like casting practices, like when comes to Hollywood, has worked for so long. But unfortunately, things have to be forced or they're not going to happen. And whether or not they're doing it to get the money from a certain demographic, I mean, I really can't speak to that.
right.
But I know that it has to be done. And I feel like movies should look like the world that you live in. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, creating just like these entirely one race movies, especially like with white, you know, directors and like white movies and stuff. I don't know. I think yeah, it is forced, but it has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
People deserve to be represented, and it's not okay because Hollywood has this really extensive history of excluding people, and it's just time out for that. It's not okay anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd
So
have to agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point. I'm just saying the reason they're doing it isn't solely because we need to be inclusive now because we want to be. Because if you look behind the camera, it's still the same. It's rare that you
yeah,
get a black led film that is was put together by black people.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah, like an
usually
entirely black
black
team.
people are
That's not
fronting it and then
Mm-hmm.
are the face of it because they're popular, and then behind the scenes you got white writers, white directors, white producers, white everything else. So is it really
right. Or
fair?
they'll do that thing where it's like there'll be white writers and white screenwriters,
Mm-hmm.
but then they'll hire like black or indigenous consultants, and so you get a consultant pay, but you're not hired as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So
Blacken it up for me, please. I don't know
yeah,
how they would talk.
yeah, which I mean, I guess is a step in a positive direction, but it's still like hire more people of color for all aspects of film creation. So,
Mm-hmm. And
but
not just our films.
yeah, right, because black people can write about any experiences. We
Can.
are so. But yeah, but no,
Anywho.
I agree to her. I don't think that it's done out of the kindness of their hearts.
Mm-mm.
It's not a kindness. Of course, everything is a money grab, and I can't even be mad at that. Everything is a money grab, but I think that um I appreciate for the most part when people attempt to create a more diverse cast. Sometimes the reasons behind it are a little cloudy, but you know, who can say? There are lots of reasons as to why things are done.
Yep.
So sometimes you just have to focus on the positive reasons, I
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which was
yeah.
bringing joy to the hearts of children all around when it comes to this movie because it was just great. I don't know. But yeah, so
So a wild segue. That was
back to the movie. Yeah, is that Jack came back and was like, "Oh my god, I'm tired of my job. Like, oh my god, Halloween, yay, boo, we're so great at it. One, blah 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 blah." Number one, let me tell you some realistic stuff. What do you mean the day of Halloween? We just wrapped up, and the mayor want to talk to me about next year's plan. Like, please, can I get a break? Um, that was really wild.
That's all they do, though, right?
I was like,
that's
God,
their whole
please.
existence, right? To
The
be
day
Halloween.
after, just ridiculous.
like that's all they're preparing for. That's like if all you do is make Christmas stockings and then Christmas over, you like, man, when I'm gonna be able to make my next Christmas stocking? You're not gonna be thinking like, man, I got a whole bunch of time off before I got to get back to work to doing these Christmas stockings. So
yeah.
I was like, gosh, not you tracking me down the day after, but
I feel like Jack was just like the quintessential mediocre white man, like just being praised for everything, but still like, I'm not happy. And like,
I want more. Build me some ships and send them across the sea.
Yes, it was like, and I guess the heavy is the head that wears the crown, but it's like, dude, you are literally the king. You are in higher ranking than the damn mayor. Like the mayor was just nothing, but you are the king. And everybody in this town like praised him. They're like, you made wounds ooze. You made the mountains crack, Jack. And it's like, he's like, thank you. And I get being disenchanted with your job and your work, but it's like the way Jack handled it, he's just a dick. And I think like when I first watched this movie when I was younger, I was like, oh, Jack, love Jack. But now as an adult, I'm like, God, Jack was a dick. Jack was a jerk, an asshole, all of those things.
I mean,
so yeah.
I mean,
and Sally, and the thing is like people really liked the love affair between Sally and Jack. Like people have tattoos of it. People like, really love that, be the Sally to my Jack or the Jack to my Sally. But that relationship was trash.
I was about to say, was it really a relationship?
For the whole movie.
It's like it was just situational. If it had been anybody else, Jack would have been there.
For the whole movie, Jack completely ignored Sally. Sally was pining after him for 2 hours here, and
like the entire movie.
and like leaving him notes and little deadly picnic baskets and shit. And he did not even notice her until the end.
I didn't notice that you, and then got interrupted and watched her run off with a flower.
Yeah. And Sally's like completely horny during the whole film. And Jack is just, anyway, I would like to take over Christmas Town. I'm busy.
So I'm busy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. And then like the whole thing with Sally and this mad scientist, and like did no one realize what was going on? I was just like, all right, what's really going on in this town, guys?
Captive.
Which is another relationship that was like extremely problematic, because I was thinking like, when Sally kept escaping from the tower and he was like, fine, I'm gonna make another one. And he made like this woman that, adored him and kind of looked like him and everything. And then I was thinking, well, what did he make Sally for? Was Sally supposed to be his sex slave too? And she just didn't comply? Like, what? I'm confused. But because at first I was like, maybe he made her to be a daughter.
At first, that's what I thought too.
But he made that other one and was like, I'm making an upgrade that looked like me. And that was definitely not a daughter. So
yeah, not quite sure what was going on there, but
Sally was going through some things. I will say that she was throwing herself out of towers, making sure she got that sewing kit,
ripping her arm off just so that she could escape. Like
it's wild.
Some of these movies, in hindsight, you're like, oh, this is a children's movie.
Yeah, because that whole part with her like sticking her leg in to kind of seduce Oogie Bogey, which was a very gross scene, with them tickling her feet. Like that was so gross. Like he was so perverted.
It's such a good movie when you like don't dig too deep. Because
I think that makes it even better when you dig
oh my
deep.
God, this is not a children's movie anymore.
I think that makes the movie even better because it makes me laugh, because I laugh all through it. Like I'm like, Oh, Jack, you fucking idiot. So,
But I think any children's movie that has layers to it is what makes it a good movie.
yeah, especially if it's written
Anytime
by
you can
adults. Duh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sit down and the kids can watch it and they can take what they can take from it. Then adults sit down watching the same exact movie, viewing it through their adult eyes, and can take something totally different from the film and still enjoy it. Now, did I enjoy it? No. But some adult could enjoy it.
I think it's just a funny movie. Like, it's just the audacity of Jack really just tickles me throughout the whole film. Like when he made that damn Santa suit and rose up out that coffin like Dracula with the Santa suit on.
Yeah.
I lost it. Like
just ooh, that's funny. Yeah, my guy really went and got kidnapped, got Santa Claus kidnapped to take over his entire job, and then like did a terrible job. Terrible job.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like that is a nod to like stay in your lane, because excuse you, didn't nobody ask you to come over here and try to do anything different. We had it going. Perfect what you're good at.
Yeah, like the whole moral of the story is leave people shit alone.
Yeah. Pretty much. Like,
I know you look at it and it look all shiny and bright and new, but like Jack, the thing that was just so offensive with Jack was that if he liked Christmas Town, okay, cool. Christmas Town was bright and shiny and fun. But instead of him like going back, talking to some of the people, meeting the people, letting them explain what's going on, that magical feeling that you feel, letting somebody explain it. The best, he was there for 20 minutes and he was like, you know what? I got this. I'm taking it back to my people. He could have like took some of his people and be like, look, this is Christmas Town. Experience it. No, he didn't want them to experience it. He wanted that. He wanted to keep that experience to himself. He wanted to tell them about it, and that's good enough. Like my interpretation is good enough. And it's just like, I don't know, remind me of like, I don't know, like people who go visit other countries and be like, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna take this back.
Yeah, and then like completely destroyed everything about everything.
Yeah.
Like literally ruined their entire lives and existence. I know someone who did that a couple years ago, guys. He was the president of the United States. Anywho, invading countries that didn't ask to be invaded. It's all good.
Well,
it's all good. Come on in and invade my country.
But yeah, much like this, that person who did that is exactly what Jack did in this movie. Went and invaded the people's country and was like, yes, let's make a better Christmas by dropping toys filled with like headless things and Jack in the Boxes that are actually scary. Like, ruining people good time.
He was there. Oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was saying one thing that I saw from watching it was he got a real quick glimpse of what was going on in the town. And he had all the books and everything you could ever think of, all the knowledge you could think of. But if the knowledge isn't applied correctly, it comes out exactly how it came out. Because though he had those things, he still didn't know what Christmas was all about. It wasn't about just doing something just to do it, because Halloween is something just to do. Christmas, Santa Claus is on a mission. He got things he got to get done. There's kids out there. Kids don't need nothing crazy trying to eat them or tear them limb from limb. Like, bro, I didn't step into this to be running and jumping from my presents. I came to jump to the presents so I can get what I want. But he was like, nah, those gifts is whack. I'm going to give them the real gifts. And I was like, bro, don't do that.
Yeah.
Every time he did something, I was like, don't do that. Go kidnap Santa Claus. No, don't do that.
Jack was really just having a midlife crisis and was like, I'm going to take everyone down with me during my midlife crisis.
I swear. And then, like the way that they handled Jack in the end, because he was flying around, giggling and stuff, and they just blew that bitch out the sky. And when they did that, yes, I hollered. Because that was funny. He was like, they're trying to hit me.
Shot down.
And then it reminded me of, like, you remember that story, this was a few years ago, of that missionary going over that island that nobody could go to. I was like,
it's a banned island. Yep. Mm-hmm. I want to tell them about Jesus Christ. It was, come on. Tell us about this Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Murder.
And they got pictures of them dancing with the spin, like, yeah. That was Jack. They blew that fool out the sky.
But for him to think that, they love what I'm doing. Look, they're like throwing up fireworks. This is great. Like, nah, bro.
Like, sorry, no,
they're trying to put you out of commission.
Yes, he was so delusional. Like, dude, no. And then, like, at the end, where like he's like, oh no, I made a horrible mistake. And then he was just like, well, I guess I'll just go be sad. And then Santa Claus had to go and fix all that stuff. Like, not only did you steal like my whole life's work, but now I got to go correct your crap. So
at least people knew it was a fake Santa, and it wasn't the real Santa out there just going rogue. Like,
right?
Because sometimes you get some stuff and you be like, that's what Santa Claus on now. Okay, cancel them.
Santa done changed. Oh goodness, yeah. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Jack was trash for that
whole mess. Yeah, because instead of asking, finding Santa Claus and saying, can you explain to me the traditions of your town so that I can possibly go back and talk about it to my people, his first thought was kidnap him. And just take it over instead. Like, see, what a wonderful moment for a cultural exchange that could have happened. Let me teach your guys about Halloween, and let's teach you about Christmas, and see how we could make them all work together. But no, arrogantly, he's like, yeah, I can do this shit better, and does that instead.
It was, he.
And what's even crazier is at the end of the movie, when they end up letting Santa Claus go, Santa Claus decides to still share a part of the Christmas tradition with the town and gives them snow. And I'd have been like,
he should have poisoned it, but
it's raining pee out of the sky for you.
Yeah. Santa Claus was quite gracious because, I would have still been kicking Jack ass. But, that's just me. But
personally.
Yeah. And Jack went over there and stole that culture, brought it home. And then not just that, but he then forced it on his town. Mm-hmm. Like, the people were like, well, we don't understand. Like, do the gifts jump out and like kill people and stuff? And he was,
I know, right? No, that's all I know.
Yeah, it had.
All I know is murder and mayhem. What does it mean? Something nice. I don't know what nice is.
Oh, yeah. And then but one of my favorite parts of the movie, it's a small part, but every time I see it, I fall out laughing. But when he trying to teach the town about Christmas, and then he get the town band to play that most horrendous rendition of Jingle Bells. Mm-hmm. That makes me laugh every time because it sounds so horrible. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yes, that's it.
The middle school band version of Jingle Bells. Because that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that. Every time I see it, I fall out laughing. That and him rising about that casket is funny to me. And getting blown out the sky. I'm sorry, but this movie got a lot of little funny parts in it that I always laugh at. Like, and I don't think I'm supposed to laugh at these parts, but it's just the ridiculousness of Jack, the audacity of Jack. Just, bro, what is you doing? Go sit down and be the king of your town and stop it.
Yeah.
Just stop it. There could have been a different thing that you could have done. You could have at least even decided to make Halloween less scary if you wanted something new. Like there were so many different options that you could have done besides stealing the people's entire culture, or and then fucking it up at that.
And
Why
yeah,
not bring Christmas to Halloween Town instead of bringing Halloween Town to Christmas? Like, and instead of trying to just take over Christmas Town.
because Jack was very selfish. Because you like in one of the songs he was singing, he was like, he started off, and it's like what a lot of cultural appropriators do. They're like, I feel like this should belong to everyone. And then his next line was like, no, not everyone, just me. And that's really all it boils down to. Because like people, I've heard that argument so many times when it talks about like appropriating culture, like, well, why should this culture have that? Everyone should be able to enjoy it. We appreciate the culture. No, you just want to wear cornrows. That's all it is. And just say it. Just say it.
Because that's all it is. Just say what you want to say and let the words fall out. But don't get offended if you get your ass beat too. Okay, cool.
All right.
Well, that escalated.
The things that I hate the most.
Right.
That escalated pretty quickly.
But you know, a part of this movie, I do remember them saying that was like, sure, it was produced like it was a Disney movie, but Disney tried to like distance themselves from the movie, which I think is very interesting. But apparently there was a hidden Mickey in one of the houses, because if you didn't know, one thing about Disney movies is that they always have other movies in their movies, and it's not always something that you see. But if you go back to the Black children who discovered that their Christmas presents were haunted, there is a little girl wearing a yellow Mickey Mouse dress, and it's really cute. It is something that they do in a lot of their movies, little hidden Easter eggs all around. Which it is said that Jack has also been Easter egg in a lot of different movies. I think it was Beetlejuice and James and the Giant Peach were two of the big ones where they're like Jack made a cameo in the form of like a little skull in their face. So it's very interesting. We love that about Disney. They do always throw a little something everywhere for us to see.
Yeah, I follow
those are both
this.
Disney movies as well.
Yeah, I follow this account on Instagram where like she shows all of the different like little thing where, well, like you said, a piece of this movie in another movie. So, but yeah, it's always pretty cool to find those little Easter eggs or whatever. But yeah, so you have any final thoughts about this movie? Any other things we want to talk about?
I think that probably the biggest like controversial part of this movie is Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie. Yeah, he's supposed to be the Sandman, if I'm not mistaken.
Showtime at the Apollo?
No.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Showtime at the. I mean, he was singing now. He was getting down with the get down in some of these songs or whatever. No, he is the Sandman. Put you to sleep, Sandman. His ass was creepy. He was a little. I mean, the way he was ready to murder Sally and Santa Claus and take over the town was just a little crazy, because what Santa Claus had to do with it, number one, you should let his ass go. He had nothing to do with it. Why are you trying to murder Sally after you just almost tried to get with her after she tried to seduce you? Like, Oogie Boogie, let's have a talk. What's going on here? Has someone wronged you that you need to take over?
He was, I guess, coded as this like, because I think he might have been one of the only voice actors of color in this movie.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That was where I was gonna go next. That was the Negro of the movie.
Yeah, and it was like, wow, that's the one villain, huh? But Jack is the villain, but okay.
Jack is the real villain, guys. The real villain.
Yeah, but he, is this whole like gambling, uh, almost like Louisiana kind of
Mm-hmm.
Cajun, whatever sound to him. And
Yep.
so, yeah.
The voice actor's name was Ken Page. And he was the villainous boogeyman in Halloween Town. So he had a
Hmm.
passion for gambling and a rivalry with Jack, which I kind of wish we kind of. I wonder what made them rivals. Is it just that he wanted the power?
I mean, but shit, fair enough. Like, at least Ogie Bogey was doing what he was supposed to. He was a member of Halloween Town and he wanted to kill people. He was staying in his
Mm-hmm.
lane. It was Jack that was just all over the place. So,
Yeah, and
Jack,
Jack definitely has
just
some audacity too.
if you're experiencing some depression, Jack, just get on some mental health meds, okay? And move on with your life and and be the great king of Halloween Town that we know that you can be.
And I mean, he was already great. That's the crazy part. Like, you could have literally did so many other things than what you did, which was bring Christmas to Halloween Town instead of trying to bring Halloween Town into Christmas. That would have probably made you even better had you
Or
had just brought
or
it to
he could
Halloween
have
Town.
just visited Christmas Town and been like, "Hey, I'm taking a break from Halloween Town and just here to visit and just to admire what you guys are doing. You
And
guys
got
are doing
presents.
you
He
guys are
could
doing
have
great."
gotten presents too.
And then gone back home. That could have been his yearly sabbatical. Hey, I'm taking a break after Halloween to go visit Christmas Town. You guys hold it down, and then go back home, and that's that. Okay,
Mm.
you didn't have to bring,
You
you
want
didn't
to know
have to take
something?
it over. You didn't have to bring anything back. You didn't have to do any of that. You want to admire culture, then just look at it and then leave.
Look at it.
You know what probably would have made this movie, and I feel like someone should do as a like adaptation is done Easter, because if you watch any freaking movie when it comes to like Halloween, it be bunnies with their little white bunnies with those little red eyes, be like the gateway to hell. And so that really should have been, it be goats and bunnies.
What?
Goats and bunnies be the devil representation in scary movies. And so really someone should go back and make this movie again, but instead of it being Christmas Town, it should be Easter. And then like the movie would be going off on a whole separate, like I'm talking about like rated R type of movie where Jack goes takes over Easter Town just to find out that Easter really is that bitch when it comes to scary because they're working for the devil. Like,
I think that, well, they
whoa.
did kidnap the Easter Bunny, and
They did and
really,
brought him back.
I think if the Easter Bunny, if Jack would have tried to steal Easter, that bunny would have bounced all over Jack's ass.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there is room for a bigger movie with Easter.
But they
Write
did
it up,
kind of leave
guys.
it. They did kind of leave it open to where it looked like they would have a franchise where the different holidays would be explored, but it just never happened.
I think they talked about like wanting to make another one, but Tim Burton did not want this movie to have a sequel. Who knows? It could always still happen, but he did not want it
Yeah.
to be a franchisee movie.
Have you gotten the Sally book?
I don't know why you would ask me such a question.
Because I already know the answer. Mhm. Well, there's a sort of pseudo sequel.
Terrell's face.
Y'all talking about?
There's a They didn't do a sequel to the movie, but there's like a book that's kind of like a sequel, and it's more like about Sally,
Mhm.
which I think is great because Sally had a lot of elements like that were actually very interesting about her that was just never explored in the movie. Like no, like the fact that she was created by this scientist that could have been
Mhm.
explored more. The fact that she was a psychic, like she had that premonition, that could have been explored more. Like all of it was Sally was just this character that was just positioned to just be pining over Jack, and she was so much
Yeah.
more than that.
Mhm. She was so much more. Sally deserves her own movie, her own category. Apparently, there was an alternative ending to this movie that was cut that was
Where Sally
displayed.
kills Jack? Yes, that is what I would have wanted to see.
No, Jack was a father, so I believe him and Sally got together and made a little Jack Jr.
I don't even want to know how that anatomically happened, but all right. Um
Well, does anyone have any final thoughts before we go into best, worst, and weirdest about this movie?
Well, I think we need to answer this question that apparently that you posed at the beginning
Yes.
about that is like apparently ripping families apart. I mean, Terrell, you have children, so just be careful out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I would love to hear your thoughts. Is this a Halloween or a Christmas film? And then I will tell you what the director says.
Who you asking?
Whoever goes first is fine. And 1 and a 2 and just scream it out. 1, 2, 3. Christmas Halloween. Christmas Halloween. Come on.
It's definitely a movie. I'll say that.
For me, it is the perfect in between movie. Like, and I know that's not an acceptable answer, but the reason why I say that is because I watched it last night to prepare for this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which, right now is that was 2 days before Halloween, and it didn't feel right to watch it then because there was so much Christmas stuff involved.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it's one of those movies that you would watch after Halloween, like after Halloween has kind of settled down, but it's still close to October. So like one of those early November films that you watch to get you in the mood for the season. It's a good transition from Halloween. So to me, hell, it's a Thanksgiving movie.
A Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, because it don't feel right to watch it on Christmas because it's still Halloween. But me watching it, getting ready for Halloween, it didn't feel right. Because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, I know people, wonder what kind of movie this is, but it just don't feel right to say it's a Halloween movie. It's just one of those a good in between to get you in the mood for the season. So it is a pre-Thanksgiving movie. Terrell. T-Rex.
This is I don't care what kind of movie this is, but it is definitely a movie. It says Nightmare Before Christmas, so I guess it's a Halloween movie. With elements of Christmas. I don't know.
This is so funny. What a wonderful representation of the movie. I'm going with this is a Christmas movie, kind of like a Krampus or like a when Family Guy did their Christmas episodes that was kind of like Krampus. It's like a scary Christmas movie, like a spin on Christmas. And I know that might not be everyone's thoughts, but I'm thinking like but it is also what Kirsten said, one that you could watch during Halloween or Christmas or in between or whenever, actually, because it's not like all Halloween, all Christmas. But for me and my household, probably just me though, the rest of the folks might disagree, that it is a Christmas movie that's just a little spooky. However, the director says it is a Halloween movie. So whoever you want to believe, yourself or the director.
Me, I will believe me. It is a post-Halloween movie.
Okay. A post-Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, then they're okay. How about best, worst, weirdest?
Sure. I'll go first.
Okay.
Best for me was that I liked how it kind of brought it back and showed the graciousness of Santa Claus, for him to give them a little piece of enjoyment. It kind of just shows how, even though y'all be doing folks wrong, we'll still show you a little bit of grace at the end, because sometimes y'all just need to be educated. And I feel like that's what Santa did. It was like, don't you do this shit again, but here go what you was looking for, and don't you do this shit again. So that was kind of cute. So that's my best. My worst would have to be that I still think that they should have done this with Easter, because I think that would have made for a really great movie. Okay. And I'm doubling down on that. So if anyone out there hears me and you steal my idea, I want to cut. The weirdest for me would be poor Sally. Like, she did not get a lot of, like, we get to see her a lot in the movie, but she doesn't get any real good story character development around her outside of just being like this, I don't know, handmaiden into this crazy mad scientist, and then like super head over fucking heels for Jack. Like, there is so much more to her story that I just know we have, and I wish we could have gotten a little bit more into her in this film.
Yeah.
Terezi.
See, best part of this.
And don't you even, before you fix your
I'm
Negro
not going to
lips.
say the end because that was terrible. But
but you know how you do. The best part of this movie was when the credits were rolling. Don't you even start.
The best part of this film was the stop motion animation. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is pretty good.
Very well done. It's probably the best I've ever seen before or since. I don't even think they've been able to recapture that with other Tim Burton stop animation type films.
I agree.
Yeah, it's really
it's
good.
a very beautiful film. I will say that. So that's the best part of the film. The worst.
I'm proud of you.
Now I can say good things.
No, you can't.
No.
but proceed.
Let's see. The worst part of this film was the fact that I didn't like how everybody in the town was like, we don't want to do this, but we're gonna do it anyway because Jack is the king of what, Pumpkin Town or whatever the hell this place is called. Halloween Town. Is that what it's called?
Halloween Town.
So I was like, y'all just gonna fall in line just because y'all rock with Jack like that? Which is weird. Like, people really have, it shows how even in real life people have this real strong follower mentality, and if someone says something, people are like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, yeah, and then they say, well, no, I was wrong. Yeah, dude, we was wrong, but we still remember what we said. And it's like think for yourself sometimes. Y'all know that Christmas wasn't y'all lane, but y'all was still in there like,
yeah, it's real MAGA country. I said it.
I wasn't saying that. But we here. I see you. So yeah, I think people should definitely take the time to think for themselves, and come to their own conclusions about things. And if something doesn't feel right, most likely it isn't right.
Yeah.
And the weird part of this movie was that, so did Christmas, so they didn't celebrate any other, so it was like Christmas, so the whole time this whole town was just waiting for one day of the year. Like they didn't
know about anything else.
They know, okay, so they never celebrated Halloween. So Halloween Town never, I guess it's trick or treat time. So let's switch it over and go into I don't know. It was just weird how everybody was so segregated. Like everybody, Christmas Town, all they cared about was Christmas. Bunny Town, all they cared about was Cadbury eggs, and
those things are delicious.
Yes, they are. I ain't had one in a while, but yes.
Me either. Yeah, they like the whole town. They celebrated their one day, and then every other day they prepared for that day to return. So they didn't like celebrate Christmas. Yeah.
I see why Jack was like,
there's gotta be something else out here. Yeah, I could understand, like, you know, this is like something completely different, but it's just like, dude, just stand down, Jax. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so that was my best, worst, and weirdest. Kirsten.
Yeah.
Kissy
Um,
Wirsty.
I would say the best part of this film is that it's funny. I enjoy watching it. I enjoy singing along to it. It's a funny movie, and it's one of those things that like you were saying earlier, Terrell, like kids and adults can watch it, but get like different experiences. And to me, like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is a kids movie. But then when I started like really looking, like peeling back all the layers, like that's when it got really funny to me because I was like, Jack is just being extremely extra, and a lot of the stuff, like I said earlier, it was just audacity that he had, just like
Heck yeah.
and so a lot of stuff was just very funny that I did not catch upon for first viewing. Um, Worst would be I would have liked more from the Sally character. She was really the only like female
Interesting. Really, really,
role of
really honest.
importance in the
Mm-hmm.
movie, and she was really just there to pine after Jack, and she had the most sense out of anybody in the town, and they still
Literally.
didn't give her any agency and any you know so would have liked more from Sally. um Weirdest.
What was weird about the movie?
I mean, it is a movie full of weird, so there's plenty of that. But yeah, it was just weird how everybody in that town they just loved him and just adored him and worshiped him, and that still wasn't enough. Um, because they and how Jack just basically just like forced this town to do what he wanted to do, and bless their little hearts, they followed him, and but it was just that was just okay. They're weird. Nobody else thought it was a bad idea except for Sally. Nobody. Anyway,
Well,
Mhm.
that's something there. There's something else. Well, what is everybody
Message.
binging? Oh no, wait. Before we do that, what's happy hour?
yes,
Who
it's
we
happy
drinking with?
hour.
Who we sitting down having a cocktail with? Who we drinking with?
Terrell, who you having a cocktail with?
I'm having a cocktail with Yeo Santa Claus.
Okay.
Keep
Why you having a
Talking,
cocktail with
asking
Santa?
about the gift that I didn't get when I was a kid that I wanted. I'm like, hey, bro, bro, I filled out
What
the
gift
list and
was it that you
everything.
wanted?
I don't know. I can't even remember. It
Let
probably
us
was something
know,
stupid.
Terrell. Lay it on our hearts so that we can help heal this childhood trauma that you've been carrying around.
Every
for 40 years.
story Terrell tell is full of childhood trauma.
So let us know, what gift were you seeking as a child so that we can make sure to fulfill your every desire and heal
And so that we can laugh at you.
trauma.
Yeah, that's why you want to know, so you can laugh.
Love you,
Oh,
mean
I
it.
guess I think like almost every gift that you got, I was like, yeah, that's a cool gift.
We almost always got the same gifts.
Yeah, we did, especially them go
Thank
karts.
you.
That was fun.
Y'all got
That
go
was-
karts?
Yes, we did. And my dad cut out a trail for us in the woods. Oh,
Yeah, we
Wow. Okay.
had a fairly
Nice.
adventurous childhood.
best Christmas ever.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Nintendos and we got go-karts and yeah, we got
Yeah.
shut up, Terrell.
It probably was something that I really wanted that I didn't get. And I was like, you Santa Claus.
see, just
I'll
holding a
get you,
grudge.
Santa Claus. Call
Mhm.
Jack Skeleton to come mess up your little operation over there.
Yeah, take that, Santa. You idiot. Well, who I who would I have a cocktail with? I think I would like to have a cocktail with. mm,
Hmm.
I don't know. It was like a lot of little characters that
Seemed real fun,
Ah,
right?
probably the little gay seamstress, the one who was slapping them little and put the Why did Jack have him make the costume?
Questions.
Because wasn't he a seamstress?
I think he was trying to do it a little bit in secret though, a little bit.
Yes, he was. I am a genius. Yeah, that little Santa Claus suit would have been fly.
Heck yeah. Would have been stunting and profiling. For me, I'm having a drink with Sally so I can tell her to stand up. Girl, get off your knees and stand up.
Yeah, Sally did need it.
Woo, Sally. Jack didn't even realize that you was a thought until the end of this movie, and you done did everything for him. You done poisoned the man, committed several felonies in trying.
Are there felonies in Halloween Town?
I don't know.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
I think you get rewarded for felonies in Halloween Town.
Sound like it.
Well, done poisoned, done got your arm snatched off, done had to sew yourself back together just for a man who couldn't appreciate you until the end of the film. Girl, stand up. So yeah, I'm having a drink with Sally for that reason.
Sally need a drink. Sally
several.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's me. Anyone binging anything this week?
What you watching, Terrell? You look like you about to say.
Oh goodness.
Tear up the place then.
Yeah, I'm angry. No, I've been binging. If y'all haven't seen, I don't know if y'all watch it or not, but Atlanta is it's coming to an end. This is the final season of Atlanta, but
I heard it was in the final season.
A good show. It's just
I heard it was good too.
It's so well. Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, he is, in my opinion, he is a genius when it comes to writing these shows and taking these characters and building this world. It's like Atlanta, like it feels like Atlanta, but it's not really Atlanta. It feels like it's pseudo Atlanta. Like if you were to go to Atlanta and it was a weird day in Atlanta, but like every day is a weird day. And I love that show, man. I hate that it's coming to an end. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now that we've come to the end of the road with Atlanta, yeah. I might actually watch it because I like to watch things when it's over, when they're over. I don't know what it is. So I might go back and watch it.
That was definitely something.
Yes, thank you. I am available for nights and weekends at whatever lounges you'd like me to sing at. Thank you.
You would be perfect in the little band in Nightmare Before Christmas and they little jingle bells.
That ain't right.
Kirsten, let's hear you sing a note. Thanks. Yeah.
That was my Jodeci, and I ain't jealous. Ooh, yeah.
Who's Jodeci? No, I'm just kidding.
Thank y'all for joining the show. We appreciate that.
This is actually our last episode ever.
Thank you for sticking with us through the thick and thin, and that was
and we apologize for our abrupt ending, but you saw what happened, so
I had no choice.
Anyway, what I'm binging this week, turkeys. I've noticed like there's been a whole bunch of Halloween releases like on Netflix and stuff, and which I can understand why they're all coming out like the week of Halloween. Usually they come out like the whole month, but it seemed like a whole bunch was it's like a whole bunch was dumped because there was one that came out
a couple days ago. Was it?
Yeah,
Wendell and Wild.
something like. Well, no, I didn't see that, but when you shared it with me before, I was like, oh, okay, I think I'd like to see that.
It was cute.
But then there was something else. It was like a teenage drama, or teenage sci-fi kind of Halloween thing. But so I'll probably watch some of those things. But what I have been watching, and I'm still watching Supernatural. I feel that's gonna be my forever show. But
Absolutely.
the new season of what's that little show on Netflix? The one with Tia Mowry.
Oh, Family Reunion.
Yes.
That
I
show is
Family
so funny. I don't care what nobody
Reunion.
say. That is my guilty pleasure show.
Me too. Me too. Because it's not so much that it's just good,
Hmm.
but it's so wholesome and
Yeah.
just fun. Like it's just like
It's like a throwback.
you don't take it seriously. It's just
Mhm.
it's just the way sitcoms used to be. It's like
Hmm.
corny but wholesome, family oriented, and it's a cute show, and I think this is the final season too.
No.
I believe so, and so that
Mm.
makes me kind of sad. I'll have to double check that, but I believe this is. So I started watching that, and I'm finishing the Watcher. The
You gonna always be finishing the Watcher. You ain't gonna finish it. That thing is ridiculous.
it is, and the thing is, like I started it, and I'm like halfway through it, and I'm like, do I want to finish it?
Yeah.
It's weird to do a series on something that was never solved. So like, how are they going to end it? Like, because how?
Question.
But I mean, and it's like, I think I was telling you before, we might have mentioned it last week, but like, it's like they didn't know what direction to go, so they just made it real weird and quirky. And it's like, no, what these people went through, that was some real shit. Like,
Exactly.
Just, you know,
Exactly.
so what are you doing?
Let's make a mockery of this. It's funny.
Yeah, it's very weird. But so that I'm watching that, and I think that's it. But there are a couple of things I want to see. I want to watch. I want to start Midnight Club. Is that what it's called, Midnight Club? And I want to start. The one with Kerry Washington, that little movie, the School of Magic, a school something.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Is it good?
It was okay.
Oh, I'm asking you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
I love
okay.
you, Kayla. I love you, and I mean this. I mean this in the spirit of true love and sisterhood. But you just.
I am the best movie picker of this podcast. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm so glad that I could be of that service to you. What I'm going to be watching is I started trying to watch The Winx Club again, because boredom. So I put that on yesterday, and so we'll see how that goes. See if we'll actually finish that. And before
the first season was so. No, I want to watch that too, the season 2, but I just haven't felt motivated to do it.
Well, I'm trying the first season again. We'll see how that ends up, but yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
That spider has been distracting me the whole time.
I'm glad. I hope that it gave everyone the spookies that they needed.
Oh, it gave what it was supposed to give.
Yes, I'm so excited to be going to go and live out my dreams of being a witch at Hogwarts after this. So I say it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah,
we should have actually next year, guys, for our Halloween special. Mark my words, we are going to be doing a 8-part series on every Halloween movie Harry Potter movie that has come out. So we're gonna do an episode for every Halloween movie. Harry Potter movie. So come enjoy the festivities next year in 2023. Because
y'all tell me how that go. Y'all tell me.
We're doing all the Harry Potter movies. Is that what you're saying, or did you say every Halloween movie?
Every Harry Potter movie. My bad.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Let me know how that goes. Y'all tell me all about it.
Every Harry Potter movie, because there are 8.
Y'all think y'all gonna torture me with all this Harry Potter?
Yes, we will.
And by then, Kayla will have read all the books. I'm sorry, Kayla. I'm not even going to go. I'm just going to say this one thing. But you need to read the books. If you are a Harry Potter fan and you want more, and you want more enough to go to a Harry Potter exhibit, then you need to read the books.
Well, I am missing one book, so if anyone wants to buy me, which I think it's number 4, I'll come back in this post and let you guys know what it is. It's either number 4 or number 5, and then maybe I'll read the books. I can't read the books until I have a complete set, so until then.
All right, then, girlfriend. Well, that's our show.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. For bonus content and to learn more about the show, you can head over to sipsandscripts.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Sips and Scripts Podcast. If you've got a suggestion for a film to discuss or want to add to the conversation, you can just say hello. DM us on social media, leave us a voice message on Anchor, and we'll play it on the show. Thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Peace. And chicken.
Happy Halloween!
Here comes Halloween!
In the dead of night.
Hey. What? Here come. Hey. Halloween. Halloween.
Call home.
Hey.
Everyone do the pumpkin song.
Cabbage Patch. I think. Is that?
What is going on?
That's that. See, it's like
why is this happening?
every episode you get further and further away from God's love and His light and His purpose for you.
Guys, have the spookiest of nights.
Yay! Is everybody ready for Halloween?
And drop your pictures. Oh my gosh, please, for the love of God, drop all of your pictures of all.
We want to see the babies,
outfits, your babies. We want to see everything. So please drop your pictures below.
The babies, everybody. We want to see the babies.
Yes, we want to see the babies. Please drop them.
We want to see the babies. Yes. All right.
Wakanda forever.
Oh God, give you a rest.
Never.
Bye.